Hello, I'm Remy D'Agostino. I'm the programmer on a little project called Bad Science. It's a single-player, real-time strategy game from a team of 4 students at Queensland's University of Technology in Australia. Okay, so this is our main menu screen. We're going to release this game really soon, so I decided I'd just record a few videos of me playing. I'll talk over them, give you guys some idea of what to expect from our game. So we've got our little user select screen. I'm going to select my account over here and then hit the play button. So this is our briefing screen. It shows the name of the level, what kind of bacteria you get. As you can see in this level, we only get grey bacteria. There's 4 kinds of bacteria in total, and then what kind of times you'd need in order to get a special reward for completing this level quickly. Alright, so let's start. We've got this little bacteria over here. He divides into a new bacteria, and he'll just keep dividing until we've reached our maximum number of bacteria. We can select them with the left mouse button and right click to move them around. And if you move them over here, we can see these little fellows over here. These are wounds. Wounds usually spawn viruses, and viruses devour our bacteria. We can't have our bacteria devoured, because if we lose them all, we fail at the level. So we need to succeed at the level, and to win, you aggregate your bacteria into a blob using any of the 10 blob buttons on the side. Here we're just going to create a plain grey blob. Once you've created him, you can crash him into one of these wounds, and you have to heal up all the wounds in order to defeat the level. So I'm going to create a few more. We've actually got 10 different kinds of blobs, but you need different colours of bacteria to create them. So with only grey bacteria, I can only create the grey blob. So let's crash them in here, and we're all finished. Alright, that was really simple. Obviously the first level, it's a bit of a tutorial. So let's hop into another level. Let's pick a level that has some viruses in it. This one not only has viruses, it also gives us the blue bacteria. The blue bacteria has kind of defensive abilities, and I'll show you that in a second. First thing I want to show you is these horrible viruses up here. Now they're quite vicious, and they will chase us down if we get anywhere near them. So you can see that virus came and ate our bacteria. I'm going to send another one in, and I lose him. So in order to defeat these viruses, you need to create special kinds of blobs that are really good at fighting viruses. The first of these is really the defensive blob. I'm just going to create a grey blob first, and then add a blue bacteria to that blob by right clicking and dragging him in. And he has a few abilities. One, he stops my bacteria from drifting around. Not just that, but if I throw him into this stream of viruses, he's quite tough, and he'll take a number of hits to be defeated. In fact, he takes twice the number of hits of a grey blob. So in order to heal up that wound, I'm going to have a blob with at least 3 or more members, and that's because the wound size is 3. So let's create a blob of size 6, and I'm going to create a defender from the menu. Here we are. Once I've created him, I'm going to just charge him right in, and I don't really mind if he takes some hits from those viruses, because he's big enough and tough enough that he can just crash right through. Alright, now there's some viruses left over, and I don't really want to lose any of my bacteria to those viruses, so I'm going to create a leukocyte blob. And a leukocyte blob has all these little stretchy arms, and the stretchy arms go out and they beat up on viruses, and that's really, really effective for cleaning up stray viruses that are hanging around. And I'm actually going to use this leukocyte, and I'm going to make a few more. And once I've created those extra leukocytes, I'm just going to charge them straight into this mass of viruses at the bottom, and I don't think they will have any trouble beating up those. This is again quite an easy level, still teaching the player how to play. That's okay. Nice and easy. Let's pick another level, and we'll show off a special kind of blob called a reaction. Alright, so let's pick the red level. Okay, so this level gives us red bacteria. Red bacteria tend to have really aggressive attacks. They tend to be focused on exploding and destroying viruses. So we'll use these to eliminate all the viruses on this level and then heal up the wounds. Alright, the first thing I want to show off is our sweller blob. So the sweller blob, it has some special abilities. The first of his abilities is that he counts as twice his size for the sake of healing wounds. So this blob here, he's a sweller blob, and he's got 5 guys inside. That means he could heal a wound of size 10, even though he's only size 5, unlike most blobs. If that didn't make sense, don't worry about it. It'll come to you at some point. Okay, the other special ability that this sweller blob has is if I throw him in here, he will turn into a toxic cloud after he dies, and that's quite useful. We get quite good efficiency killing those viruses with a toxic cloud. I'll create another one just to clean up these viruses. Alright, so now that those viruses are pretty much dealt with, I can get a few more bacteria. I'll move them up here and create a sweller blob, and I'm going to go and heal up this wound. There we are, that wound's healed up. Now, there are a few viruses left here, I better deal with them. One of the best ways to deal with viruses is with a special reaction. So we've got 4 kinds of reactions. The first of these you can create by combining 2 red ones into the same blob, and this is called the toxic splash. Now the toxic splash, you aim it at the viruses, and after a small time it'll fire off and destroy them. It's really, really effective for killing groups of viruses that are all grouped together. Oh. Okay, let's create some more toxic splashes. Alright, so here I've created a small volley of toxic splashes, and these are gonna destroy those viruses, no trouble. I'm gonna create some more. Can never really have too many toxic splashes. Toxic splash is really, really effective at killing viruses. Notice how that when there's only very few wounds left on the level, we actually grow bacteria a bit faster than the level creates viruses. That's definitely not the case in some of the harder levels. Anyway, that'll do for today's little walkthrough. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, stay with us, subscribe, and tune in for our next video.